So we've got Jean Pascal versus Badou Jack for the WBA World Light Heavyweight title. It's an interesting fight, to be honest with you. I was shocked by Pascal beating Marcus Brown. I did not expect that result at all. But he went ahead and did it. He showed that there's still life left in him yet, even at his advanced age. How old is Jean Pascal at this point? 37. And of course, he's been in some tough fights. He was stopped, obviously, by Sergey Kovalev twice. And those were brutal fights for him where he took a hell of a lot of punishment. He had that tough fight against Carl Froch. He had those fights with Bernard Hopkins. You know, he's been around a long time, Jean Pascal, and been through the wars. So for him to pull off that win against Marcus Brown, very unexpected and very impressive. Badou Jack is also on a comeback trail, having lost to Marcus Brown. And this, of course, is where styles make fights. Just because Jean Pascal beat Marcus Brown and Marcus Brown beat Badou Jack, it doesn't mean that Badou Jack can't beat Jean Pascal. We'll see if the rock, paper, scissors situation continues in this fight. Now, Badou Jack is, not a spring chicken himself. He's only a year younger at 36 than Jean Pascal, but he hasn't taken the kind of punishment in his career that Pascal's taken. The terrible beatings. Obviously, he hasn't had as many fights as well. If we look at the number of fights Pascal's had, what is it in total? 41 fights in total, as compared to Badou Jack, who's had, let's have a look. Where's the bouts? I always miss the bouts. 27 bouts in total. So he's had less fights and he's got less miles on the clock. The fight against Marcus Brown, I guess he did take a fair amount of punishment. The Stevenson fight, he really didn't take that much punishment. He avoided Stevenson's left hand for the most part. He did get hurt late in the fight, but again, avoided most of the serious punishment. The DeGale fight, he took a few shots. Took a few there. But these fights here, even against Groves and most of these guys, he wasn't really taking a lot of shots. So I'm going to say that Badou Jack is probably the fresher of the two, even though he's only a year younger. And he obviously had that terrible gash on his forehead that required a hell of a lot of stitches and also requires a lot of time to heal. So it's going to be interesting to see if Jean Pascal targets that scar tissue and if that reopens again. Perhaps that could be a problem for Badou Jack in his career going forward. So we'll see. But I think this is a really interesting fight, people. Kind of interested in that it's a crossroads fight for both. Yes, Jean Pascal's coming off a win and Badou Jack's coming off a loss, but both guys are at advanced stages of their careers. There are a much younger crop of light heavyweights in the division right now, the likes of Artur Beterbiev. Obviously, Canelo Alvarez just won a version of a world title. And you've got Dimitri Bivol. These are the younger guys. And obviously, Bivol's already beaten Jean Pascal. So you can see these are kind of two veterans scrapping for a version of the light heavyweight title rather than the spring chickens. So it's kind of a last hurrah maybe for the pair of them, particularly for Jean Pascal. That's the way I see it anyway. So I'm sure both guys are going to give it absolutely everything. They're both going to want a big fight after this. Whoever wins, probably a unification against one of the younger champions. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe they'll try and pick up the vacant belt, right? Because Canelo Alvarez has vacated the WBO light heavyweight title. So maybe they'll try and pick up the vacant belt and go that route. So let me know what you guys think. Personally, if I had to pick a winner here, it's interesting because Jean Pascal is still explosive at his age. He has these fast bursts of speed. But Badou Jack is a lot more consistent, If I had to pick a winner, I would probably edge towards Badou Jack, taking it on points. I don't see a stoppage for Badou Jack in this fight at all. It's possible, but I don't think so. I think Pascal's still tough enough to last the distance. So I'd say Badou Jack in a razor-close decision, maybe. In fact, okay, the fight is being held in Atlanta, so it's not in Canada. So you wouldn't imagine that Jean Pascal is going to get any kind of favoritism from the judges. So, yeah, I want to say Badou Jack in a close decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jean Pascal managed to win the fight either. Maybe if he opens Badou Jack's cut up, maybe if he just moves around and fiddles his way through the fight, opens up occasionally with those explosive bursts and kind of replicates what Marcus Brown did. See, the problem for Pascal is that although he's got fast hands, he doesn't have the fast feet that Marcus Brown has. and he doesn't have the range. You know, it should be easier for Badou Jack to get to Pascal than it was for Badou Jack to try and get to Marcus Brown. And obviously Marcus Brown's a southpaw as well. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good competitive fight. But if I had to pick, I'll probably say Badou Jack on a close decision. But obviously Jack's been out the ring a long time, so we do have to consider ring rust too, right? The last time he fought was in January against Marcus Brown. Jean Pascal, on the other hand, fought Marcus Brown, the 3rd of the 8th. So that was in August. So Jean Pascal's fought much more recently. We do have to take that into account. Perhaps Badou Jack could be rusty. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Good fight. How do you see it going? It's Hatman, I'm out. Hatman merch is now available. We got t-shirts, vests, hoodies, and more. Just click the link below.